And we have begun. Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Lonely Clods podcast. I know how badly you've wanted the Lonely Clods podcast to come back. I know how important for you it was for the Lonely Clods podcast to come back, and I know it's been a long time since the Lonely Clods podcast has come back. But it's here. And you might have needed the Lonely Clods podcast. But Lonely Clods has needed you more, my friends. It's been a rough time out here in the space-time loops. Out here on YouTube. Let me tell you. People are getting demonetized left and right. They're losing money. Money that's rightfully theirs. Let me tell you something, friends. I have $52 in my YouTube AdSense account right now. Right this second. And any moment, that could go away. YouTube could demonetize me and arbitrarily decide that the money in my account is theirs. Now, if you don't know how this system works, let me explain. I make money from YouTube. YouTube gives me a few shekels every time someone views an ad, or if they have a YouTube Premium and watch a video. I get that into a YouTube Money account. At the end of the month, YouTube moves that money into my AdSense account. Then YouTube checks that money to make sure it's legit, and they will send it to me. But they will not check it until I've reached at least $100. Right now, I have $11 in my YouTube account. The goal here tonight is to have 60. That is our goal, ladies and gentlemen. $50 in my YouTube account from you fine folks. So that way I can get that money in the AdSense account. If you do not, YouTube may arbitrarily, at any point, write off my channel. And that $50 that YouTube has put in that AdSense account, I will never be able to get. Because they will not send you any money until you hit a minimum of $100. That is what we are dealing with tonight. I know you, ladies and gentlemen. I know that you don't want YouTube to win any more than I do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have just hit our goal, as I have just received $60. So I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. There's literally no reason to have a show now. I don't know what to do now, so I guess I'll just bring someone in. Hello, Sensei.
Hey Dylan, how are you?
Well, I'm doing substantially better now that you've given me $60. So thank you, I guess.
Well, I mean, you said you had a goal, so I helped you make that goal.
I'm very grateful for that, Sensei, but I wish you could have waited until later in the show.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it.
You
It was
can't
too good.
you
I'm
can't
sorry.
start the show with a showstopper. Now I'm gonna have too much money by the end of the night.
I'm sorry. But it looks like Josh would like to discuss the Joker with you. I think that would be a lot more entertaining.
Fantastic. I'll bring Josh in then. Thanks, Sensei.
You're welcome. No problem. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring you a man who has spent his life with a dream that he himself met not that long ago. I want to introduce you to a little man that only recently procured a pair of Devilman jeggings. My friend, Devilman. Welcome to the show, Devilman.
Hey, what's up, Dylan? How you doing?
Well, I'm getting money, so...
Or rather, how you doing, Maury?
Well, Maury, I'm doing all right.
Maury.
You got a joke for me, Arthur?
God, that scene was so good.
All right,
Oh,
when I decided to do this, I thought it would all be a joke show, but well, here we are, and now it's real. Great.
now we're actually talking about Joker. Dylan, do you know what happened to me today?
What happened to you?
It actually happened. Everything that everybody's joked about actually happened to me at the Joker showing. I went to go see the movie.
Right.
My dad wanted to go see Ford versus Ferrari, and I'm like, all right, I'll go see Joker. And so we went to go see our movie. I get to the scene where Arthur is fighting with the library of the sanitarium over the folder.
Right. Yeah.
And the screen goes dark, and I hear boop boop. And I'm like, oh, this is very experimental for this movie. And then the screen goes dark, the lights come up, and they're like, attention, exit the theater, we have an emergency.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. so I go down the fire escape, and I meet my dad outside, and we're like, what the fuck's happening? So we're sitting there waiting for 30 minutes. And then eventually they bring us all in, and I walk up to one of the cops, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And he's just like, oh, it's a false alarm. Somebody pulled the fire alarm. I'm like, great.
That happened to me a couple of years ago. I went to go see what's it called? It's the musical with Ryan Gosling and the other and the redhead.
Oh, yeah.
It's not
Fuck, I forgot the name.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but
It came out like a year or two ago.
yeah, it was in like 2017. It was whatever.
It won a few awards, I think.
Yeah. I went to go see that, and halfway through it, there was a fire in the theater. Not in my theater, but in like the greater theater, and so we all had to leave. And my family had gone to go see a different movie, and like 2 weeks later, they went to go see the rest of their movie, and I did not. So I've still never finished that movie.
Yeah.
They went to go see Split.
Oof.
Which...
So, is that the movie with the no, I'm thinking of Splice, the one with the genetic mutation.
Yeah, Split is the sequel to Unbreakable, which I saw earlier this year. Really good. Both of them, Unbreakable and Split, both great movies. I've not seen Glass.
I heard that was pretty good.
When I went to see Joker, there was a lady at like the thing who like you buy your ticket and then you walk 3 feet and someone rips your ticket in half.
Right.
Even though logically that's a retarded position and there's no reason to have it.
Yeah.
And then further past the concession stands, there was another woman who had to check my ticket.
They got 2 ticket. We only have 1 ticket checker.
That's the first time that's ever happened to me. I don't know why we had 2 ticket checkers. The best I could... Every once in a blue moon, there's one movie that gets a little more. Like, I got carded when I went to go see Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough. Even though I'm clearly over 18. I'm 20.
So Deadpool seems like one of those movies where they're just gonna let kids in anyways because they love Deadpool.
I'm 23 and I look 33. I don't get
yeah.
I don't get
certainly.
I don't get carded at liquor stores.
You don't?
No, they don't card me.
No?
They don't card me. Sometimes I hand them my card, and one time I handed my dude my fucking ID, and he swiped it like I was giving him my credit card.
Huh.
It's very weird.
That's awesome. Dylan, what do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society that abandons him and treats him like trash?
You get what you deserve, Murray.
You get what you fucking deserve.
I feel like this might be a poor way to start the show, because I want to get really deep into like Joker shit, but I feel like I feel like a lot of people who are in our circle don't go to the movies.
Maybe we should save this discussion for the end of it, but I just wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Joker, the American Kino of the Zoomer generation.
It's very good. I really like it. I watched it and I watched Parasite, like back to back.
That's the guy who made The Host, right?
Yeah, The Host and Snowpiercer. Fascinating movie. And those two movies.
Is it a monster flick?
It is not. It was so. I feel like watching Parasite. I feel like was a very similar experience to people who played Death Stranding for the first time.
Oh.
Where like we sort of got it astroturfed. His game journalists came out and like were like, "Hey, heads up, this is not what you think it is."
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were very upset about that. And this dude, I don't know his name because it's Korean, and I'm bad with English, so I can't handle other words, has made nothing but like sci-fi horror shit for the past decade. The Host, right. Snowpiercer, Okja, which I've not seen, but it's still like a fantasy thing. And so I didn't know what Parasite was about, and all the marketing for it was like it was just pictures of a family. So I thought, I'm gonna go into this blind, and I bet there's a moment in this movie where it turns and it gets fucking insane.
Right.
And that moment doesn't really happen the way I thought it would. There is no monster in this movie. There's no sci-fi. There's no fantasy. There is a maybe horror thing happening, but not really in the way you think. And it and Joker are kind of the same in that they're both about class warfare, but in very different ways.
Joker was the least comic book movie I've seen in years.
It was.
It's like a biopic character analysis of the Joker.
Joker feels a lot like how a proper Watchmen movie would work.
Right, yeah.
Where like you're like the problem with the Watchmen shit is that it's still trying to be superheroes, and that's kind of not the point.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. I'll bring you back in before the show ends.
Yeah.
And we'll go again.
I'm gonna hop out.
Right.
But yeah, American Kino, go watch it, children. You need to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people talk about black Republicans as if they're a monolith. But we are not a monolith. This next guest is a little eccentric. A little outside of the box. But I can't imagine anyone better to speak on the diversity of black Republicans than my friend, Linus Sebastian. Welcome, Seb.
Oh, hi.
Will you say something for 2 minutes so I can shut my door because my fucking dogs insist on breaking it down every 2 minutes?
Yes, I can talk.
Thank you.
So, this day, earlier, I went to the local alcohol dispensary and I got myself a Enter Night beer, Pilsner.
Seb, you can't.
Sanctioned.
Seb, you can't say that, all right, dude. Like, I just made my money. Are you really going to try and take this away from me?
Well, I'm just talking. You asked me to
You
talk.
can't talk about that, though. You know you can't talk about that. That's fucked up.
It's sanctioned by Lars Ulrich by email.
Oh, Lars.
So this German company wanted to make a beer about Metallica.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked them, and they were like, "No, don't do it." And they're like, "Please," and they were like, "Okay, do it. You can name it Enter Night. You can't name it Metallica."
Name it Ironica.
Yeah.
They named it.
They should have just said fuck them and named it something better.
I was gonna say name it Iron Maiden because Iron Maiden doesn't give a fuck, but they very much did.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think if they had contacted Iron Maiden, they would have met them with a happier response. I think. Fuck it. You can't email Lars Ulrich and expect a fun response.
You can't email Lars Ulrich about anything.
We could try. Apparently, they succeeded because they got the. They didn't get the license, but they got to use a lyric from one of their songs.
Has anyone told you? I've definitely said it before. I don't know if I said it to you specifically. The story of the controversy with them and Guitar Hero Metallica.
Wait, no, I don't think
I've told this a few times, but I'll tell it again because we're broadcasting.
Yeah.
To the same 6 people who watch everything I make, but who gives a shit? So, do you remember back in the late 2000s, they were making a ton of fucking weird Guitar Hero versions?
Aerosmith,
Van Halen,
Van Halen, Metallica, yeah.
Rock Band, the Beatles, which is the only one of those that is really justified.
I think the Metallica one was pretty good.
I don't think any of them are bad. But it's the thing of the Beatles specifically had such a unique. It wasn't just that they had a unique sound.
It was one of the first ones who came with a mic, I think, too. So you could sing the Beatles songs, which is important because.
Well, you could always sing the. That was the third Rock Band thing.
So wait, Rock Band always had the mic?
Yeah, that was the thing. Rock Band. I remember because my cousin had it.
Yeah, and then Guitar Hero also got the mic.
Yeah, Guitar Hero and them took that stuff on
the
later.
Fourth generation.
But the thing with the Beatles is they were one of the first bands that wasn't just music. It was also a whole cultural thing where they dressed and acted. They were basically a boy band before that was a thing. Where they were always kind of coordinated and they had a flair to them that they could recreate in the game. There's also the part where almost every Beatles song is iconic, so you could fill a roster with their music, and it was all really expensive, so it didn't make sense to pay for it unless you were getting an extra dose back. Shit like that. But Metallica and Van Halen and them, as influential and great as they are, I don't think really needed their own games, but that's neither here nor there.
No, because they filled out a lot of the spots with other bands like System of a Down.
Yeah, they
and
did.
Stuff. And
it was stupid. But the big thing about Metallica was at the time they had a new album coming out.
It's after Death Magnetic, right?
It might have been Death Magnetic.
That's fucking early though.
Let me check. Metallica. I'm typing like a 30-year-old, I'm typing like an 80-year-old because I have one. My microphone is in one hand. It was after Saint Anger.
Yeah, Death Magnetic is the.
Yeah, I think it was Death. I'm pretty sure it was Death Magnetic. That was it. That was around the time, I want to say. That was the one with what was it? The Day That Never Comes.
Yeah, it's a military.
Born to push you around.
Yeah,
that shit. Anyway,
so
the reason it was notable, and I might be wrong about this, honestly. It might have been a different album, but it was notable because songs from that album were on Guitar Hero Metallica. And they came out roughly around the same time. It was like a dual thing. So two things happened here. One, Lars Ulrich tried to sue Activision because he believed people would not buy the album if they could just buy a video game. he fundamentally misunderstood. He didn't realize that you can't put that on an iPod or in a CD player. And 2, you can't really listen to the music. You have to play to it. There's no ability to just listen to the music in Guitar Hero, as far as I know. But 2, he didn't realize that they had bought the rights to do it from them.
He's so fucking stupid.
He's so fucking stupid.
No, but you can watch like there's a recent video an edit someone made that it's called something like Lars Ulrich can't play the drums, which is just a clip from the other members of the band very patiently waiting for him to try to get it right.
Like that scene in Whiplash where all of the music students have to wait for the drummers to be able to come up to speed.
Yeah.
While J.K. Rowling beats the shit out of them.
And then he, like Lars Ulrich, he just throws a tantrum, like, "Oh, all the songs fucking sound the same. It's all the same."
Yeah. The second part of that Guitar Hero thing that's really funny is I would assume you've heard of this because you're sort of into music and shit. But do you remember the Loudness War?
It's kind of still going on, but yeah.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, there's a huge problem in the 2000s in which music producers understood that louder music tended to make a stronger impression on you. It also had the opposite effect in that you didn't want to hear it as often, so people got like bitter about music a lot faster, but that's neither here nor there. So the problem was, for a long-ass time in the 2000s, every album was trying to be louder and louder and louder, to the point that a ton of instrumentation got lost in the mix.
Yeah, and I think the opposite of that, the turning point was, ironically enough, Black Eyed Peas, The End.
Maybe.
Yeah, just because they made the mix is really good on that.
The reason I bring it up is because when Death Magnetic came out, it was like really bad with the Loudness War.
It sucks, yeah.
But Harmonix for Guitar Hero had mixed the music themselves and had made a better version of those tracks. Because they were not part of the Loudness War. They had to make it so you could hear every instrument because you were playing it.
Yeah, they have to have different stems also. Because when you fail in Guitar Hero, some of the music, if you fail, the guitar sounds go away.
Right.
So you have to have all the stems go. Oh, damn, that's pretty fantastic.
It's really funny. For the record, I do recognize that people are asking me questions in the super chats. I will answer them. You do not have to pay me more money to get me to answer them, but it will make me answer them faster. So real fast, the first one came from Sensei. It was after the fact. It wasn't attached to the $60 one, but I'll forgive it because of the sheer amount of money she gave me. Who wanted to know the origin of the term Lonely Clods, the name of the show. So 3 or 4 years ago, not 3 or 4, it was 2017, so it was 2 years ago. It was 3 at this point. When
it started with Skate, right?
Yeah. When we split away from Random Assault for the first time, the only time actually, before we left, I had the idea, which was Kate and David did a live stream thing, or they did a podcast called Lonely Gods, where they talked about Doctor Who shit all the time. I made one called Lonely Clods that was going to be a parody of it.
Yeah, because you still had the keys to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. And
you could do a live stream.
Yeah. And I called it Clods because it rhymed with gods. And this part has not aged well, but it's a thing from Steven Universe. Which is the one character calls everyone Clods.
Yeah, wasn't the episode called Lonely Clods, Steven Universe or something?
I think the idea was that it was going to be like Lonely Gods, but we were only going to talk about Steven Universe. and then we never did because everyone was fucking with me.
Yeah, I think Devilman was just playing his Switch all the time.
Yeah.
He was fucking with you.
Magical times when the novelty of playing your Switch while doing other things. It's my brother's birthday today, and do you know what he got?
A song with rats singing it?
No, he bought Breath of the Wild.
That's cool, I guess.
Good
game.
He loves that fucking game like nothing else, and I sold it last year to buy Bayonetta.
Oh, okay. You don't have it anymore.
I did not, no.
Okay.
And he was every like couple months he would bug me about getting it again. And playing Death Stranding, there was a part of me that actually wanted to go back and play Breath of the Wild as well.
It's a great game.
It is. It's really good. $10 from Josh. Big cum. Bring me on to talk about the epic Joker. We did that. We'll do it again. Aquanaz says, Dylan, tell me about your Rugrats All Grown Up fan fiction. I will do that. I promise.
Oh no.
Oh, that faggot. Okay, so after that, Sensei said bring on Aquanaz, and I was gonna bring him on and talk to him about it, but he's not in the fucking waiting room anymore.
No.
Oh, you bitch.
I don't think he feels like it.
Oh, god damn it. Okay, I'll talk to you about it. Well, hold on. I don't want to do the fucking Mitch and Matt thing where it's the same person for 2 hours and then I end it. So I'm also I'll keep you in, but I'm also gonna bring on Sheep because I feel like Sheep won't want to talk, but Sheep will want to listen. So welcome, everyone. Trans porn star extraordinaire Ella Hollywood. Hi, Sheep.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi. What are you welcoming me to?
I'm welcoming you to the podcast.
Yeah, the Thunderdome. Oh. Well.
Ian, Jarrett, I don't know who you are, but you need to watch your fucking tone, okay? Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me like that under my own fucking roof. This is amazing. If it wasn't amazing, how would I have made almost $100? I think I've made more.
True. Let's count it up.
60, 70, 75, 79, 99. Yeah, so we're at I mean, the thing is, YouTube takes a chunk of that, so it's more like 90. But we're still well over the limit. For the record, you guys are paying for the stuff this is the money I'm going to spend on my family for Christmas. Because when I get it, it'll be mid-December. Because of the way it works. So this money is going to go towards my family for the most part.
So it's $99 hanging in the Christmas tree.
And then I have 50 in my account already. And then I have 11 in my YouTube account. So let's jump it up to 110, 160. YouTube will take about 20 of that. So I'm at 140. So so think of it this way. If you're giving it to me, it's going towards my siblings, one of whom is retarded.
Don't get him any more knives.
That's not a joke. One of my siblings is mentally retarded.
That's why I'm saying don't get him any more
I've
knives.
never gotten him a knife. I'm not the one who gets him knives. That's someone else's problem.
You should take them away then.
I'm not going to... No, because then he'll take the knives out at me. I'll get him a book.
That's true.
I will not get him a book. He won't be able to use it.
Yeah,
I wish I was joking.
Get him an audiobook about being friendly and peaceful.
Unironically, when I was 4 years old, my mom bought me a book on tape that I would listen to endlessly. And I have no idea what it was about. I know it was about dinosaurs, but I don't know to what capacity.
Of course. That makes sense.
And I don't remember anything else about it. And I'd love to read that book again. I'd love to actually find it. Because I bet I could awaken ancient memories if I read it, but I don't know where it is.
I mean, you could probably narrow down every dinosaur book, put it on a tape,
Probably.
and find it.
Probably.
I think that's a doable thing.
It probably is, but I also don't care that much.
I mean, it's kind of interesting seeing how you're like fascinated by dinosaurs that much. So it should.
Everyone in my generation was. It was such a huge fucking thing.
I mean, dinosaurs are cool. It's not.
I think a big part of why maybe you guys are a little less ambivalent about it is you guys are like just not by much. Most of us are a year or two apart.
Yeah.
But I was born right at the cusp. Like when I woke, my first memory is Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and then also Disney's dinosaur movie is just also in
I remember that movie too.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that they chose a really lame dinosaur to be the protagonist and a lamer dinosaur to be the antagonist. This is going to sound weird. That movie taught me how to play chess.
Yeah. I like the behind the scenes in that movie where they talk about the antagonist. And they were like, yeah, we chose this lame dinosaur because we didn't want to choose the T-Rex because everyone else is doing it.
But you could choose such a way better dinosaur than Carnotaurus.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Carnotaurus is not very big.
Yeah, it's just a bit bigger than the others and like thicker.
You could have chosen Giganotosaurus, who is actually bigger than a T-Rex.
Yeah.
You could have chosen Spinosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus, Baryonyx, Suchomimus.
Yeah, but half that movie is just those fucking tree. What they're called, koalas, whatever.
Lemurs.
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 Yeah.
I mean, they're not lemurs because they're obviously the ancestors of lemurs, but that's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Didn't actually exist, but half that movie is just them goofing around.
It's not great.
Nah. It's fine.
Anyway, the Rugrats thing. So one day I was sitting around and I was really, really bored. And you know how sometimes when you're really bored, you just sort of like get this weird sadistic streak in you? Where like just to entertain yourself, you find something really fucked up.
Yeah, kind of.
So I was talking to people on Discord, and I was mostly talking to myself about how Chucky would have inevitably become an incel. Like when he grows up, because he would have.
Child's Play, Chucky?
No, Chucky from Rugrats.
Oh, what? Doesn't he already grow up in the old grown up?
That's what I was talking about. I think he is an incel in that.
It's been
like
so long since I've seen it.
They're only like 13 or 14 in that. They still had time to grow.
And I don't think there's as many episodes of that.
There's not. Why would there be? And I wrote this elongated fucking thing about how Chucky would like, because his sister Kimmy has to deal with him all the time, and because like their parents won't do anything about it, she's become very submissive. Until like eventually he's able to just force himself on her, and no one does anything about it. It was very long and it was very detailed. And if you put a gun to my head, or if you paid me a substantial amount of money, I wouldn't be able to recount it bit by bit. But I remember it was really, really fucking funny.
So is it lost in a deleted Discord or something?
No, it's still in this Discord, but like it's how far back would you have to go to find it? Because this is months.
You could just search from user.
You could search from users, but I'm probably the most active user.
Yeah, but you could also search for keywords like.
Yeah, I guess it would be incel. Because that's where it starts.
Where's your job, Chucky boy? Yes, you're talking to Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it. I think I found it. It's from May this year.
It's that far back? Jesus Christ.
It's in segments too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just keep talking as if it was just fact.
Yeah, I did it for like a fucking a while. I tell you what, the fact that you were able to find it, if we can get Right now, we're standing at like $100-ish. If we can get up by like another, I don't know, we'll set an arbitrary amount. If we can get an additional $30, I will read it verbatim at the end of the show.
I mean, you start out with, do you remember in Rugrats how Chucky had an Asian stepsister? Then you paused and then you said he totally jacked off to her.
He did. Are you going to tell me he didn't?
He probably did. And then Alkmask chimes in with a yes. Yes, he probably did.
What? Someone like who worked on.
If you want to find it yourself, you just have to search for this line. It's the start of it.
All right, I will do that before the show ends. Let's bring on someone else. There's not that many people here, unfortunately. What the fuck is it with Mitch and Matt that they're able to bring on like a shit ton of people who never actually say anything? And I can't get more than 3 or 4.
I don't know. I mean, they bring on people and they don't say stuff.
I
think I'm pretty good with talking when I'm on.
If
I don't have anything to talk about, I just leave.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring on Stickman.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Stickman.
Oh, yo, what's up? Oh shit, I'm gonna hear my own voice. There we go. All right, what up?
How you doing?
Just playing some more not much. I had a long day at work. Fucking sucked. Now I'm playing Death Stranding.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Stickman, what are your thoughts on Death Stranding? I assume by this point anyone who's watching this already knows their feelings on Death Stranding, but I finished Death Stranding earlier this week and I've not been able to really talk about it because I've been waiting for everyone else to catch up to me.
You're gonna hate me. I'm just doing side quests, delivering shit. I'm still on episode 2.
That's not uncommon. I will tell you this, if you're doing side quests, you probably want to stop and move on with the story, because in chapter 3, like every mission they give you a new tool that fundamentally changes how you play.
Really?
That's where you get like, you can fabricate like cars and roads and zip lines and trucks.
A friend of mine told me that.
It really is like you might as well just push forward because you're not getting anything from doing the side quests really. And like,
don't you get level ups?
You get level ups, but they're kind of pointless.
There's that one attribute you can level up that allows you to carry more heavy, like increases the amount you can carry.
So you don't need to carry more if you can have cards behind you, right?
It's negligible. I am level 280. I've probably not even doubled my base carry weight. The big thing though is you unlock 1,000 other ways to increase your carry weight. Once you get the exoskeletons, there's no reason not to wear one.
But yeah, that's what a buddy of mine told me, that you get the exoskeleton. So
are those visible like on your model?
Yes, and each one looks different.
That's really
the first one you get makes you look like you've got like. You remember that episode of SpongeBob where Squidward ate a ton of Krabby Patties?
Oh yeah.
I think that's more than one.
That they make you look kind of thick.
Like dummy.
Yeah. But the other ones look normal, and they just sort of add some neon to you. They look really good.
Yeah, my rank in this game is like level 201 or whatever.
How the fuck did you get to 201 already?
I told you I did a lot of delivering.
Stickman, you know they don't run out. They're infinite.
I kind of figured.
You're not supposed to do them all.
I mean,
I thought there might be like a stopping point at some point where I could just progress.
The stopping point is that each one of them has like a star rating.
well,
And it maxes out, and they give you a little star. That's it. Once that happens, you don't ever have to talk to them again.
So Stickman, how many likes do you have?
How many likes?
Yeah.
Where do I check my likes again? Because I can't remember.
I think it's in the middle of your inventory.
Oh, okay. I think it's... There we go. Likes... 54,905, I think? That's what it says.
Holy shit.
That's insane. If you're still in the fucking second chapter,
Yeah.
so you're still on the East Coast.
So, wait, so you must really, really like this game then?
I've just been delivering back and forth. I guess at some point I kind of need to go forward.
Stickman, you need to... Yeah, dude. Stickman, I have 80 hours of playtime, and my level is like 280. Yours is 200, and you're not even out of the starting area. I finished the game 4 days ago. I've been playing it every single day.
I mean, I think it's a good point about this game. Like, you can play it however you want.
It is. You can kind of play forever.
Yeah, I probably would have made at least a little bit more headway in this game had... Well, my entire Tuesday was busy. Like, I went and meet up with friends.
Yeah.
And then later on that night, I went to go see the Konosuba movie with a friend of mine because she had an extra ticket.
Wait,
So
there's a movie for Konosuba?
Yeah, it just came out recently.
Why?
Yeah.
What's it about?
Cosma and the crew go to where Megumine's from, her home village.
Oh, is it sad?
No, it's really weird and kind of hilarious.
Okay. Oh, I'll check it out.
I won't spoil much, but the villain of that movie, let's just say there's going to be a lot of Rule 34 of that character.
Good.
Yeah.
All of the Rule 34.
I mean, Megaman is already the most fucking drawn character.
Well, true. Because they're degenerates. But,
whatever, man. Like, it's not that she's small. It's the part where she's the best character.
The only character.
Nick Dempsey, I'm gonna fucking ban you if you say that again, you faggot. Get in here and face me in the halls of debate, cuck.
Oh yeah, I heard you mentioning that the all grown up thing. I think I vaguely remember you mentioning that once.
It's come up a few times since then, because it made a lot of people really uncomfortable.
The part when you mentioned friggin' earlier.
I mean, even when you talk about it now, like, I still... Okay, so you start with, okay, so you know when you sit and you're lonely, your thoughts wander. Like, even if you... I can't comprehend how you would come up to that.
How would you not? Look at Chucky. He looks like a fucking incel, and he's got an Asian stepsister. That's the setup to like 1,000 porns. She's from the land of the rising sun.
Yeah.
But why fucking...
And she's half French too, because they meet in France.
Why Rugrats?
Why not Rugrats? Because that's where it is, dude.
Yeah, that's where it is.
That's like what the most fucking common meme of the alt-right is that there are a bunch of white supremacists who are obsessed with fucking Asian women.
Yeah, that's pretty ironic.
I guess.
Like, and come on, look at Chucky. There's no one else is gonna touch him. Fucking Kimmy has no choice. She's stuck with him forever.
Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Apparently Nick Dempsey, so Nick fucking in chat wrote 3 out of the 45 people you invited to your party didn't show up. And I thought he was talking to me because I advertised in the Random Assault server to come join the fucking show. Apparently no. He's talking about an actual party he tried to throw. I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't realize. My bad.
Can we get an F in the chat?
Can we get an F? Can someone donate a few dollars to give an F to Nick Dempsey in the chat?
I give him a sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sounds horrible.
I would throw in like a super chat, but I'm a fucking broke bitch right now.
Yeah, I know. I've made more money. Let's put it this way. I've already done far better than I ever thought I would. I've made more money tonight than I did in the 3 years we were with Random Assault. Yeah.
That's where you like. Didn't you have more views on Random Assault than you have on your channel in whole?
Probably not now because we have the boogie stuff. The boogie stuff's got like, you know, a couple tens of thousands.
Yeah, that's almost 100,000, right?
Is it? I guess it must be in
Yeah,
the
I
mid
think so.
80s at this point. I don't really keep up with it.
But if you discount that video,
Yeah, probably because our stuff on Random Assault pretty consistently did like 20K.
yeah, and all of them did, and you had a lot of them, so would have been a lot. Yeah, the boogie video is up to 86,000 now.
It's pretty good.
Holy shit!
I feel pretty good about that.
It's kind of rambly video, but okay.
It is, but like it was cathartic because there wasn't really a whole lot really talking shit about Boogie. Some people would talk about like him being disingenuous with his weight, but no one really talked about the really fucked up shit he did to those women.
I don't know. I think you made some like assumptions and stuff, but seeing how most of them turned out to be true, like it's a pretty good video. Like if you look at it from like from my standpoint.
I think there are times where I kind of like did a little bit of a leap, but I think it was the sort of thing of like that's only because I wasn't giving him the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like I've been vindicated by history. I'm gonna look real fast and see if there's any new Common Writer leaks, because it's Saturday.
Okay. Oh, little facts is in the chat, and also someone somewhere.
One of my dogs just shit themselves.
Okay, you should clean it
Well,
up.
they didn't actually shit themselves, but they farted while they were sleeping, and it makes me want to kill myself.
No. Is Planchette big now?
No, she's still very small. She's big enough, but like she can still sit in my lap comfortably. I don't think she's gonna get much bigger.
That's good, because your other dogs are giant.
Yeah, they are. And it might be the thing of like, she's definitely on the smaller side, but like, you'd say like what, a beagle or a retriever is a like normal sized dog, right?
Pretty sure
Yeah.
Beagle was a little smaller than like an golden retriever.
Yeah, but those are like the average sized dogs. Both of my dogs are bigger than that, but Planchette is like half the size of one of those, if that.
I see.
Yeah, so she's a normal sized dog, and you have two giant dogs.
I would say she's about half the size of a normal dog. We've had smaller dogs. My mom had had 2 toy poodles at one point.
You ever had a terrier?
I've never had a
Of some
terrier,
sort?
but I've seen them. I know what they look like.
Yeah, they're super small.
Yeah. I used to have
Kind of
a little yappy
easy
dog.
to do. Okay. Yeah.
She died like a year
What?
ago. So.
I said, do you know
So-
where Clayton is?
No, probably sleeping. Take the dog and get out of here. I'm making money,
But I-
Savannah.
I'm not taking
I like terriers because they act like
What?
they act like they're big dogs, but they're small.
Oh, well, leave her alone.
A lot of little dogs.
Then take her and get the fuck out. Savannah, you have no idea how much money I've made tonight. Do you
up,
actually
dude.
want to know?
Yes.
It's like a little under $100.
What are you live streaming?
I'm this.
Is this live streaming?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm not even live streaming a video, Savannah. I have a picture of a cat in a banana suit and a Yoshi and a dude bleeding out of his ear. And I've got like people dropping crazy stacks on me right now. I have 7 people watching me, Savannah. 7 people haven't watched you in your entire fucking life.
Hold on, are you becoming a webcam girl?
Savannah, I wish, okay? Because I'd make way more fucking bank. Do you have any idea how big my tits are? They're monstrous. Come on. Shut my door.
This is fucking content.
Good shit.
Uh,
I feel bad. I haven't seen that boogie video. I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah, you should.
it's not great.
That can be your way of giving me money.
Watch the Blue Dragon video
I've seen
instead.
your other videos and stuff.
The Blue Dragon one is probably my favorite video of mine.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just a good, like it's so easy to make fun of also, but I think the way you do it is pretty good. It kind of writes itself, doesn't it? It's a
Yeah, I mean, you just sort of have to follow through.
That's a good one. I like. I think the one I like that deserves more views is the your Game Grumps video you made a while back.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, it's the one. It's called something like "Why did the Game Grumps break up" or something.
That was the first video. That was the first video I ever solo made after I decided to stop with the podcast. And I made it on my shitty fucking old laptop that didn't run very well. I think it had like 3 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
It was fucking
But
awful.
you managed to actually mix the audio pretty good, and I think the script you wrote. I'm assuming you wrote a script for it.
Yeah, I think I did. That one I wrote a script for, and I just made it so that it would I just read it verbatim.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat if anyone wants to watch it, but I think that one was one of my favorites too, and the Dan Harmon one.
I really like that Dan Harmon one. Fuck Dan Harmon, dude. Dude's a fucking monster.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy that he used to this too.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's kind of like what's his name? The guy who Lil Dicky made a video with.
Chris Brown?
Yeah, it's kind of like him.
Yeah,
like, how the fuck is he allowed to still be making stuff?
Dude, that's the one thing. Like, I know people talk a lot about how
like, I liked Lil Dicky, but fuck that.
I know a lot of people talk a lot about how, like, the Me Too movement is just a way to fucking oust men. I'll tell you this much. If fucking Chris Brown pulled that shit today, he'd be a dead man walking.
He really would.
Like
he almost killed someone.
Yeah, like, it's insane. Like, that would have not happened in the current political climate. I think that's one thing we can say of, like...
Yeah, but he's kept doing it. He's been fucking slipping up every like couple years since then.
A lot of shitty things. Like, I think one time, the last controversy I heard involving Chris Brown was that he stole artwork or something like that for like an album cover.
There was a thing not that long ago.
No, he actually beat someone up just like a year ago.
Because he knows he can get away with it now, and people won't even talk about it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure someone just shot a gun in my neighborhood, but we're gonna keep the good vibes going. There was a thing not that long ago, and I want to say it wasn't Skrillex, but it was some other like electronic band. Came out, and like another band like Churches or something, or maybe it was Churches, and they were talking about Marshmello. Some electronic band came out and was like disavowed another band for working with Chris Brown, and they were like, hey, look, we don't have any ill will towards you, but this dude's kind of a scumfuck, and like, I get that it's hard to like make it in the industry, but I think we have a lot of respect for you, and this was a bad look. And Chris Brown responded to it by saying, I'm black and I'm proud. He seemed to what the fuck, Chris Brown? You saying that the reason you beat women is because you're black, buddy? Because I don't know if that's a look you want to have.
That makes other black people look.
It does.
Like, that's really fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know if
hear how Chris Brown talks. He doesn't sound like a smart person.
He is very dumb.
He has a very uneducated way of speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can sort of tell like a lot of a lot of rappers have that background to them where like they kind of don't sound super smart, but I don't know, you see a lot of rappers and you listen to them talk and they've got like a wisdom to them because like maybe they're not very educated, but they've got a lot of life experience. Yeah. And like you listen to a lot of dudes.
You can listen to Ice Cube or like Snoop Dogg in interviews. And they're smart guys.
They're intelligent, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Brown is not that, because Chris Brown made it big when he was really young.
He was like 16, I think, when he had his stuff being played on the radio.
Yeah, he grew up in that really fucked up thing. There's that one dude, Trap.
How old was Snoop Dogg when fucking Doggy Style came out?
He was pretty young. I want to say he was in his early 20s.
Yeah, he was one of the younger ones. He's 48 now, so
Yeah.
He's 48.
minus when did Doggy Style came out? 92.
93.
So 48.
So it was
minus,
25 years ago, so he was 23.
Okay, yeah.
About then.
He was pretty.
That's
young.
still fairly young,
he-
yeah. Like, he was I was as old as Snoop Dogg, and I was here, and yes, I have gotten away with more murder than Snoop Dogg, but far lower profile murders. No one really cares about the people I kill, but that's neither here nor there.
But yeah, you never recorded a song on a rooftop either.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
never released a song I recorded on a rooftop, but I've recorded one.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Is that in the $1,000 tier?
Maybe. If someone pays me like $500, I'll go out onto my roof and record a song.
No, it can't be your own fucking roof.
Why can't, dude? My roof. Okay, first off, you don't know how bad of a shape my roof is in. If I do it on my roof, it's probably more dangerous than doing it on like a city building's roof.
Maybe. It's just labor.
There's no maintenance happening in this house or this neighborhood.
Oh, damn.
All right, I'm gonna bring on someone else.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
All right, thank you for.
I'm gonna actually try and progress through Death Stream.
Yeah, you should do that because you're about to meet my favorite character.
I can't wait. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Stickman.
No problem. Just put me back.
Don't tell me what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring you now a man from a world of ice and snow. I give you Canadian
That's
One.
me.
Hello? What?
Welcome to the show.
Oh, there's a show?
Yes.
Oh, cool. What are you talking
Look,
about?
I'm the man from Ice and Snow.
No, I am.
Fuck.
You're the man from ISIS.
Yeah.
You're the
Maybe.
man from Crisis Core.
Oh no, the red one, he's lame.
No, yeah, you're gacked now.
You need to grind so fucking much in Crisis Core. I hate that game.
Someone buy me the new Kamen Rider thing.
Toy.
It's a progrise key called Shining Hopper.
You know what?
Would-
You have fucking better priorities than fucking.
Is
Kamen
it
Rider
like your new
toys.
Stim toy?
Maybe. Who knows?
Do you remember that site I posted a couple of months ago where you could buy like old Kamen Rider toys
I think so.
for super cheap? Like, just wait a year.
Yeah,
You could
I
get
know.
this
I'm
for
not actually. I know.
$1.
It is worth noting there was a thing that happened not that long ago where a company announced they were like officially bringing like licensed Kamen Rider shit over.
Oh, cool.
I just-
can't wait for them to fucking die.
I just wanted to draw attention to this because they revealed his new suit and it looks pretty fucking baller.
Yeah, baller for a kiss.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like how bulky this suit looks. I've always preferred a heavier Kamen Rider. So it makes it easier for me to project myself onto them. Because it's always been because the Sentai dudes are always so like lithe and thin. It always makes more
Yeah.
sense for the Kamen Riders to be bulky and like heavy.
Depends. Like, if they're skinny from the beginning, like a less bulky version makes sense. But if they're already kind of ripped, yeah,
I've always
a bigger.
the problem is they're always all kind of thin because they all have to be played by like relatively young pretty dudes. We don't ever get like really stacked main writers.
Or like
Yeah.
old guys.
I mean, sometimes you've had stacked writers, like really ripped ones.
Yeah, you can get. There's definitely been like super bulky writers, but main writers never. They always have to be like. It's because fucking housewives have to be into them.
And also the self-insert thing.
Yeah.
Like little kids need to be like, oh, I can be like.
Although
I don't have to.
I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I was fat, so if there was a dude who was bigger, it was easier for me to relate to him.
Yeah, there's not a lot of fat kids in Japan though.
There's not a lot of kids. Period.
That's true.
Please have sex. I'm begging you.
It's gonna change in 2020 for the Olympics.
We're gonna get that influx of immigrant
Everyone's
semen.
gonna fuck. It's gonna be a new generation of kids.
Do you ever hear the stories of like
with blonde hair?
Do you hear those stories of like Olympic athletes who like all like in the Olympic Village all they do is fuck?
Yeah.
Because they don't have like they're so dedicated.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
But most of them are like bordering on autistic, so they don't have good social cues. So they don't ever get anywhere else, but because they're all here and they're all like fucking gorgeous and cut like diamonds, they're all that's all they do.
Yeah,
Baby
I
fuck.
think that's fine. They work for it.
You're right, they
deserve
do.
it.
I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's something to note that it happens.
Yeah, and it's going to. I'm not saying the athletic people are going to fuck everyone in Japan. I'm saying the guests who go there.
Oh, you better believe it, dude.
Like-
If I could go to Japan,
Yeah,
and
it's the biggest tourist. I think it's going to be the biggest like change in Japanese like citizen membership ever when that happens, because they have a lot of tourists all the time, but they've never had this many. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, because the culture is so fucking strict and different. To see like that many people come over, like how they're going to contain
White
them.
pig who go home.
White the pig.
I'm just fascinated to see what they do about Akira,
Yeah,
because they have to do something. I'm gonna bring in the other Canadian. I'm not gonna move anyone out. I'm just gonna bring him in because he wants to come in, and I'm not Mitch or Matt, and I will bring people in when they ask. Welcome.
I am not Mitch or Matt. I
Hello.
am very cool. I am not gay.
Yeah, same what he said. I'm
No.
really cool.
I know someone who's gay. I'm gonna take a piss. Be right back.
You go piss on them? What?
Yeah, he is. He's
Cool.
gonna piss in them.
That's what gay people do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They pee back and
Everett, what are it?
Don't,
Everett,
don't look.
Everett,
Sorry.
what are your thoughts on the new Kamen Rider design?
let me look at it. I think it's pretty fucking cool.
I think it looks real good. I think they've really hit it out of the park this season.
Yeah, they
I have not watched this new episode. It's not in this new episode, but I haven't watched the new episode, and I felt a little bad because I thought I was getting caught behind, but then I realized the new episode came out an hour ago,
Damn.
so I've not missed anything.
What does Joe Bingham think?
I don't know. He's not here.
We should go talk to him.
I don't think I will.
Oh, I miss him.
Yeah. I miss him too.
What would you do if Blake pushed you over and started spitting on you?
I'd probably push him back.
But you're on the ground.
No, I'm not.
You're on your back. You can't get up.
You don't know that.
And you're on your back. I'm gonna mating press you.
You're like a
Prepare to die.
turtle. you're just mating pressing someone, but you're just constantly spitting on their face.
Do you remember that fucking? There's a real fucking thing, and it's some fight video, and it's these two white dudes fighting, and then one pushes the other to the ground. And he's like, dude, fucking give in. He's like, nah, dude, that's pussy shit. And then the other dude spits in his mouth.
No, okay, that's not what I was thinking of. The one that I saw, because fucking Matt was retweeting them from this fucking fight video, Twitter, and it's these two like white shitheads fighting each other, and they knock each other down, and then one of them gets on top of the other, and the other one goes, "This is kind of hot." They kiss, and then they go back to fighting. It's really fucking wild.
It's kind of hot.
One goes, "This is kind of hot." Also, like half of the words that are coming out of their mouth is just racial slurs. It's there's a lot going on. They also fucking, God, there was a video they shared of like a dude walking in to like into his room and somebody's fucking his girlfriend and he starts beating them up. Just him beating up a naked dude. So it's very powerful.
I really like that one Vine or TikTok where it's like his mom's like making like fudge or something, and like he's like playing on his Nintendo Switch, and like his brother makes a noise in the kitchen. He walks and goes, "What are you doing, faggot?" And like he like bends down and kisses him on the lips.
Yeah, that's one of the best ones.
Dude, it's Josh.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one I was thinking of. What was it? My favorite fucking Vines are the ones that are just videos of black dudes fighting, and it's the boxing theme from Wii Sports playing.
I found it, Seamus.
Did you?
Yeah. This.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
You know she was getting it in high school too. One time she brought a dude home and he listened to him fingerbang her. That's the first thing you wrote about Rugrats.
Yeah, that's right.
The fuck are you looking at?
Yeah.
I went back.
Sabios, was that his dad?
Mom, where you get such a giant chocolate bar?
It's Sheep and Josh.
Chucky's like Dean Venture, with a less successful father.
Yeah.
Well,
Which of the Rugrats do you think would be the easiest to cuck?
Chucky.
Yeah.
Come on. Look at him.
I don't know.
Give me the.
I think you.
Dee Dee, give me the pussy. No
Is it that you like self-identify with Chucky, or is it just?
I don't know. I feel like I feel like once Chucky finds like his girlfriend or whatever, he's like in there, like he's in there tight. There's no getting around them.
Here's the reality.
So we missed 10 minutes ago. Little Fact says this is quite the conversation. I don't know what we talked about.
I think that was the Kamen Rider saga.
Maybe.
Here's the reality. The easiest person to cuck is Phil, because all you have to do is like hold hands with Lil. And then he'll get really fucking angry.
It's considered cuck.
He'll kill you.
He will?
Now, are we talking about as an all grown up or is still babies?
Oh, dude, both.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, of course, both.
Oh, my baby.
Which of the Rugrats children would you cuck?
It all. It's all.
Susie.
Susie Carmichael?
Yeah,
Dude, Susie Carmichael would totally, like, spend her college years being really into Black Lives Matter, and then she'd marry a white dude.
Dude, Susie Carmichael can still get this.
You know I'm right.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn.
Angelica would have, like, a very short stint as, like...
Seamus Dylan, look.
So, Dylan, in Recess, who's the biggest incel?
Oh, shit!
Yeah, dude. God damn.
Cake. Hey.
Damn. Sorry, what were you saying, Seb?
I said in the Recess, who's the biggest incel?
Oh, in Recess?
Gretchen.
Really?
Who's...
She's a femcel.
Who's the black kid? Because I feel like that dude. I feel like that dude would get really religious and refuse to sleep with anyone.
I mean, wasn't he the one who actually got to talk with the most other people than the main cast?
Oh, TJ.
TJ.
No,
TJ, because he always hooked up with other kids.
He probably did.
Vince, that was
Vince.
his name.
I'm not
Vince.
saying that Vince is not capable. I'm saying Vince would be like Jackie, and he'd believe that women are the root of all evil and refuse to date them.
Okay, no.
TJ's the main one. Duh.
Yeah.
He's the red.
TJ would be.
Yeah.
TJ would eventually become balding.
Gus is the army kid.
I feel like Gus would it would turn out that like halfway through high school he comes out as gay and like his parents disown him.
Is
and Mikey
TJ
are
just
fucking
a
super
Keemstar?
hard.
I like to think Gus is the same as the dude from Full Metal Jacket. Like he
Also-
lives that life.
Also, I feel like the girl with like the toque and like the whatever, like the edgy like funky
Fucking
girl.
Toque.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's the one I was thinking of. Her,
Yeah, she'd be the biggest incel. She'd be like a big femcel. She'd be like men are evil, but she's not really a lesbian either. That like every single time she goes to like have a relationship with a girl, it always fails.
No, I think the opposite. I think she'd be really, really into fucking dudes, but she'd be incapable of a long-term relationship. The tall one would be a dyke, and probably a tranny. Honestly.
Yeah, like you.
Honestly.
damn.
Well, yeah. Sure.
Does she have a cut on her titty?
Maybe. You guys remember that this is an audio podcast.
Is
No,
it?
yeah.
Like
No one fucking knows what you're talking about.
I think she
Yeah, it does. It does
Oh my
actually
God.
look like she has something there.
Weird.
No one's ever gonna
Whatever.
listen to this again.
Yeah, I was gonna say like no one's gonna listen.
Yeah,
to
you're
this.
right. Who gives a shit? I made my money.
Yeah, you already hit your goal because Sensei's your little pig.
Apparently,
I was actually going. I was going to donate, but
you still can.
Don't.
I won't.
Why not?
You got fucking $60 the first second.
Yeah, you whatever. Every little bit counts.
What are you gonna use it for?
Well, I mean,
Bananas and blow.
I mean, the big thing I want to do is I'd like to get Outer Worlds, but I'll probably get that without it. I honestly, I wasn't really joking when I said most of this will probably end up going towards me getting Christmas stuff for my family.
Aw.
Because I wasn't able to get them a whole... Last year, I got everyone one thing, and it was Smash Brothers.
Okay.
But I lost my job before Christmas. I say lost. I quit my job before Christmas.
Yeah.
So we have Everett saying big poo poo in the chat.
Hot take from Joshua. Girls who wear black undies burn coal. I don't think that's true.
What does that mean?
Because if that's true, Josh, I got bad news for you and your love of goth women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheep.
I bet Marnie from the new Pokemon game has black underwear.
Yeah.
Dude, I bet she's a tranny.
No, come on.
I think everyone in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Man, why you gotta be like
I mean,
that?
I can post an example.
Well, because I mean, like, because
Definitely
she's leaning super hard into like the goth and the pastel goth thing, and like trannies are also really into that
That's
too.
because trannies are into anything that's as retarded as they are.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why Sheep likes
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
Why Jamie turned out like that.
Oh no.
It's because he liked David Lynch films.
David Lynch turned me gay.
Life is not fair.
Gay room. Gay room.
You're a sycophant, Jamie.
Do or die.
Oh, what did they mean by this tweet? Damn it.
Oh, it doesn't show.
Don't say that.
Damn.
Say
It says, "Move over, Sonic. Baby Yoda is my new boop buddy." What does that?
Oh, this account's tweets are protected. Only confirmed followers.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let me fucking follow.
Wait,
I
he
think-
actually did he unfollow me?
No, I think it's a new @. It's no longer Azuma. It's now Goth Girl Celine.
All right.
Celine at girlygirlmusic.com.
I feel like I should kick someone because Josh wants to come in, but I'm not sure who.
All right, I'm out.
Both
All
of
right,
us.
good, easy. The problem solved itself. Welcome back.
Dylan, do you remember when we recently had a podcast with Jamie? It was really good. We had fun.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, just asking.
I'm getting caught up to where I was in Sword on Pokemon Shield.
Oh, Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. What are you fuckos talking about? I was listening, kind of.
I'm just sad about Jamie being a
I mean,
friend.
I'm not sad about it.
Oh.
Jamie wants to be. Jamie can be. Look,
Yeah,
whatever.
let Jamie be what he wants to be, dude. He won't talk to me though. I think he thinks that I'm in with the other guys making fun of him, but I'm really not. I'm just happy that he's being who he wants to be.
Little Fact says I need to show my screen. Okay, I will. I mean, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Here.
Show us your screen.
All right,
Dylan.
so here's the YouTube dashboard. I'll go through all my tabs even. Look, this is the Shadow of the Colossus thread on PlayStation.com that I've been meaning to read for like 3 months. This is the
You got some money.
This is the Death Stranding. I'll look at that here in a second. This is the Death Stranding thread on VG that I've been coming to talk about the game because a lot of my friends have it but haven't finished it. This is the wiki page for the gravure that Asuka the wrestler is in, and I watched some of it. And it's a gravure. It's it's what you want. Like you get her in fucking bikinis and shit, but like
Hell yeah.
whatever. Like she arguably is wearing less in the ring. But like there's always something. There's always something there. Here's the Wikipedia page for Death Magnetic. Because we were talking about it. Here's the dashboard. Megalodan gave me $2. Thanks, I guess. And here's Twitter. I don't know what I'm gonna get with its Twitter. Like there could be titty here, and I don't know.
I mean, I don't think YouTube will find out.
Probably not. Even if I take the shrink down, the money is still mine.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Here's Cool Cat tweeting at the fake Disney thing to put his video on there.
Put my movie on Disney Prime.
Yeah.
I love how he's demanding
They had to change it from Disney Plus because people got actually angry that it was
Why?
because they fucking said they were gonna give away a fucking they said they were gonna give away a Minnie Mouse themed fleshlight to whoever retweeted them.
What?
A Minnie Mouse themed fleshlight.
Who did?
The Disney Plus thing.
No, they did.
Yeah, they
not.
did, and I think that skirted the line a little too close. They had to change the name.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm amazed that the Disney company will let them make that joke.
They won't.
These are my ladies.
Okay. I'm guessing the person who made that joke got fired.
It's not a real account, retard. It's a fake
saying it was-
account.
oh.
It says parody account in the description.
Honestly, I wasn't looking at it.
This is my lady Amy.
That's still really
no.
funny, though.
Oh no, you got Fat Llama on your
Brianna Red.
stream.
It's a long story. Shit. Helga. Miss Kitty. Jeannie.
Fucking Surf's Up. Such a good movie.
I've never seen it. All I remember about Surf's Up is that there was an issue of Game Informer, and the cheat section had one game, and it was Surf's Up.
It's got some Green Day soundtrack in it.
Yeah, it
Do
does.
you
I
wanna
remember
be
that.
an
Doesn't it have Welcome to
American?
Paradise on there?
Yeah, it's Welcome to Paradise.
Fucking Green Day.
Fucking Green Day.
Welcome to paradise.
One. 21 guns!
That's 20 years after that, but yeah.
God. My dad's watching all the Star Wars movies in chronological order, and I asked him why, and he said, because I'm waiting for the new movie, and I said, why?
I mean, whatever. Like,
Whatever.
look, you can say what you... Like, we all have our problems, but that throne room fight in Last Jedi was really fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, I like the second movie, parts of it at least. It's got some good stuff, and I wish it was just more just like Luke and Rey.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
honestly...
And let the fucking B-side, because the B-side led up to
It's
nothing.
the problem of, like, they introduce those characters in the first movie, so you have to do something with them, but you don't really give a shit. So, like, I don't know. It's a huge fucking problem.
It feels like such a fucking small, like a small contained movie, the first hour. And then the end battle on that planet feels like
It doesn't
shoehorned
really
in.
fit with the rest of it. It
Yeah.
really is. They needed a big
It's like-
fight.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, we have salt. That's our gimmick.
That's part of why Joker is so refreshing, because there's none of that. It's not a movie with a fight at all.
Yeah, I guess it's just a movie about someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my display capture because it's just boring. There's nothing happening here.
It's a movie about an angry incel.
Incel uprising.
There's like no incel shit in there. I guess you could argue that there is, but it's not that like he thinks he's entitled to anything. He's just completely fucking delusional.
Yeah, and you find out that in like the first 10 minutes, right? Like that
Yeah,
he-
well, yeah, because he has like this weird daydream where he thinks like he has this fantasy about being on the Maury show.
Yeah, and then the one of the first scenes is him at the therapist, right?
Yeah.
And then you like realize, oh god, he's not right.
Yeah, he's fucked from the
I
start.
guess
of the
we're...
movie. And you find out kind of why he has mental issues like towards the middle of the
Yeah,
movie.
I guess we're in the Joker section of the podcast. So if you want to join in the Joker discussion, at me, and I'll bring you on.
Please do, because there's a lot to talk
But
about.
if you really don't, I understand. And if you don't want to have the...
Little facts complaints about that we're back. to
It's because I
still
don't
in
have
this.
any image or anything. It's not really a video to watch. No one watches
We're just
podcast
talking.
videos. Whatever.
If you want to talk about the Joker, add us.
Yeah, and if you don't want anything spoiled for you, because it is a really good movie. We all like it. You know, bow out, I guess.
I haven't seen all of it yet, so I might leave
Alright,
for this
that's fine.
conversation. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I've had the movie spoiled already. I know the
Yeah.
twists, but
All right, Devilman, it's fresher in your mind, so I guess you lead it.
So, Joker is a movie about a man named Arthur Fleck who is he has some problems. He comes from he lives in poverty and he lives with his mother. He's really down and out. He works a gig as a rent-a-clown kind of deal. And of course he lives in Gotham City, so it's a gigantic shithole. And he has both him and his mother are very delusional, to where like he believes that he can become this up and coming comedian, and he tries to be funny, but he's just so out there and so gone that he's almost lost touch with reality as soon as the movie starts. That's where we meet him in his life. And his mother's also delusional. Arthur, there's a lot to unpack here, because I'm still trying to unpack the movie in my head.
I mean, you've had more time to to think about it, Dylan.
Yeah. So basically, the premise of the movie is whatever. Arthur Fleck is living in Gotham City, which is in the spree of like real widespread civil unrest. There's a huge fucking garbage strike, so the whole city is filthy. There's a lot of tensions rising, all this shit. And Arthur Fleck, who is living off of the ever-crumbling welfare system in Gotham, works as a clown. So it's his job to bring joy to the lifeless wretches around him, which he sort of does, but the reality is that people have become so aggressive and cruel to one another that he's sort of lost in that shuffle. And he basically just becomes a victim to it. There's another movie I had watched part of where in the opening there's this interesting thing about how like victims have a particular posture to them. They have a particular way they look and walk, which kind of makes them perpetual victims. Because people
see them as something weak that they
and Arthur Fleck is one of these people. So a friend of his, quote unquote, a coworker, actually gives him a gun to protect himself.
He gets beat up by these kids in the street. They break his sign. They beat the shit out of him. They mug him.
And it's ambiguous why he gives him the gun. I thought there was something sexual going on there the first time.
Yeah, because he says, you can pay me back for it later, and he gives him this creepy
I've seen some people think that he's actually, like, he wants Arthur to do, like, a job with him later. Like, he wants him to help him, like, rob something. And it maybe at some point it got, like, lost in the rewrites. Because the movie went through a lot of rewrites. But anyway, so he gets this gun. He gets fired from his job as a rent-a-clown because while he's performing at a children's hospital, his gun falls out of his pants.
He does this silly little thing where he's like, oh, no, and he picks up the gun, shoves it in his coat, and he does like a cute little like emote
it's really
to the
funny.
Kids.
It's the movie's genuinely really funny.
It is. It's funny. Even like there's like parts of the movie where they. Okay, first of all, before I explain what I'm about to say, Arthur has a condition where it's like Tourette's in a way, where he uncontrollably does this cry that's a lot like a laugh. And he has like this little card that he gives people to explain why he's like this, and it says, please excuse my laughter, I have a condition. Whenever I'm laughing, it doesn't match the way I feel. And the movie makes you laugh in situations like that.
So, the thing about it, and I looked up into this a little more, that's a real disorder. Yes, and
really?
in real life, it's called Joker syndrome.
Oh my God,
because
really?
it gives you the same symptoms that the Joker gas gives you.
Wait, did they really name it after the character?
Wow. So it's this really fascinating sort of like feedback loop happening there. It really is just, involuntary laughter. The movie has a lot of those scenes that I can tell when the person who wrote it, they were writing it from like the Marvel handbook of undercutting tense scenes with like jokes. But it works. It works in this context.
It felt less inappropriate.
It works in this context, one, because Arthur Fleck is a clown, but two, because the music never lets up. The music is always dark and tense. So when you're laughing at it in spite of what it is. It has a sort of weird meta thing of like, you're in Arthur's shoes where you're laughing at something you shouldn't. But you're also
yes, you kind of feel like
you're also in it on the same like point of view of the people of Gotham who laugh at Arthur because he's pathetic. You're both looking at it from his perspective of being like having a fucked up sense of humor, and from the perspective of the people who are actively victimizing him. It's really interesting.
So Arthur gets fired from his job, and on the way back to his apartment, on the elevator, he beats this really cute black girl. I forgot the actress's name.
Zaza Beetz. She's
Zaza. Yeah,
she's Domino in Deadpool 2.
Right. He meets her. They get on the elevator. Not really much of an interaction. She goes back to her hotel, but she turns to him and she does this like, oh, this fucking kid does a finger gun to the head. And before she gets in her apartment, he's like, hey. She turns around and he does a very even more dramatic finger gun to the head. It's very dark.
Yeah, we're kind of going like in a weird order here, but who gives a shit? Anyway, yeah. Arthur's.
Does something happen? Yeah, before
that happens earlier in the movie. Like when he loses his job, the subway scene happens.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
Arthur Fleck is on the subway home. He's still dressed in full clown regalia. On the subway, there are these 3 yuppies who are harassing this woman. Like really American Psycho-looking dudes.
Yeah, and they're definitely a bunch of little Patrick Batemans.
And Arthur starts laughing uncontrollably when this is happening, and then they turn on to him and start mocking him and shit. And then they, start beating him up. And in the middle of that, he pulls his gun and shoots 2 of them. And then the third one starts to run, and he like chases him down and fucking guns him in cold blood.
Yeah. While I was watching this, it kind of the way that he acts, he's like an almost more in control Richard Chase. He's almost like a psychopath, but not really, and he's like a spree killer. The way that he acts.
Yeah. So like from there and shit, like, we don't have to go over the movie fucking point to point. But he is like the death of these fucking really high class dudes sparks something where like now this sort of crazed clown becomes like this symbol for the wretches of Gotham.
And he loves it.
Thomas Wayne like sort of comes out of here and he's like, these people are despicable, they're disgusting, they're cowards. I'm going to become the mayor and I'm going to clean this city up. And it's this whole fucking diddly-do where...
Isn't the Domino Girl part of the big twist?
Yeah,
also?
Yeah. So she's like, there's a ton of scenes with him and her.
That's Endgame in the movie, though.
You don't have to go over the twist, but she's part of
There's
it.
a ton of scenes with him and her where he's like actually really charming, and I feel like we're in full fucking spoiler mode.
We're in a cute fucking couple. You find out near the end of the movie, he walks into her apartment to go sit down. You think like, oh, she's gonna console him and she's gonna love him, and maybe he'll tell her what he's done. She comes up behind this motherfucker and she's like, who are you? Why are you in my apartment? I met you like once. Why are you here? And Arthur slowly realizes, and you get like a flashback to every scene with her, and then they show like a scene that juxtapositions it where she's not there. He inserted her into his reality to be there with him through all this shit, but he was never hanging out with her. He just met her that one time.
Yeah, like, well, even then, it's a thing where like they're in the same apartment. They see each other maybe once or twice. They've made jokes, but he has imagined this whole relationship for them, and there's some interesting stuff there that I've read an interpretation of that. Like, did he know, or was this him like confronting it directly and being like, I need to like face my own delusion? Was this him?
That's kind of what I think. I think that was him realizing that he was delusional for the first.
No, from what I've heard, I think he kind of knew, but he wasn't
I think he knew. He needed to like. I think he was taking one last fucking mad dash where he was like, I'm gonna go see her and see what happens. And then when it doesn't go how he thinks, he's like, all right, I'm free now. I can do what I want to do.
And he can just fuck it. You know what the real moment for that was, though? You may disagree with me on this. I think when he was like, it's time to kill mommy, that's whenever he was like taking the chains off.
To be honest, I think he had taken the chains off earlier than that. But I I
You
also
think so?
don't think he killed his mom for a number of reasons.
You think that was also a
Yeah,
delusion?
I think that was symbolic because, for one, well, okay, there's a
I wanna
couple
hear
things.
that.
He smothers his mother to death with a pillow, which doesn't
Right.
happen. That's not real. You can breathe through a fucking pillow.
It just makes you
No.
unconscious.
I don't even think it
correct?
does that.
No, you can kill people
But
with that.
also, she's
They're
at a
also frail.
fucking.
Haven't you guys seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? That's how the movie ends.
Yeah, but you can't actually kill people with that. Hold on 1 second. I gotta hold
you
on. I gotta
can.
take
You
care of my
can
dog.
kill you can kill someone by choking them to death.
I'm gonna Google this.
It's a thing. The Tyrone 118.
What are you
What are
guys
those
talking
guys
about?
talking about? Well, we're talking about movies, the Joker, specifically.
Fuck.
And I brought up the point that yes, you can kill someone.
If
by
the pillow
smothering
is
them.
full of rocks, yeah, you can kill someone with it if you bash him with it.
No, you can't breathe through a pillow.
Before we get too distracted with this, I do want to bring up one thing that why he smothers his mother. Arthur, his mother constantly talks about Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father. She is like in this like weird situation where she's just like, oh, I worked for Thomas Wayne 30 years ago. If we send him a letter, he'll get us out of poverty. And then one day, his mother goes to bed. She leaves a letter addressed to Thomas Wayne on the kitchen table or on the coffee table. He picks it up, he reads it, and it says in the letter, "Thomas, you need to be there for me and your son. Please help us." And he's like, "Oh, Thomas Wayne's my dad." He goes to the mansion, meets Bruce Wayne, little Bruce Wayne, puts his fucking disgusting nicotine-stained fingers in Bruce Wayne's mouth and makes a smile. Later confronts Thomas Wayne at like a Charlie. It's like this. There's this weird like juxtaposition with the rich and the poor in this movie, where there's outside this like theater, which I think is an actual location in the comic books.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so there's this weird. It's this very odd piece of like Batman lore that's consistent, which is that Thomas
Really?
Wayne and Martha Wayne were shot leaving a showing of Zorro. At the time that was written, Zorro was a contemporary movie, and now it very much is not. So a lot of the times they have to like contextualize it as like a specialized thing. And it seems to be the idea is that theater like shows like classic comedies and classic movies a lot. Because later on they go back, that's the same theater that it happens in at the end of the movie. Yeah.
And they show Zorro.
Zorro,
yeah,
the
at
gay
top,
blade.
but Zorro-
I mean,
yeah, I think I noticed that the
It was
gay
a-
blade.
it was the
but,
30s.
I mean,
Is that actually
Zorro's
what it's
always
called,
going
the
to
gay
be.
blade? The happy
Yeah.
blade?
Zorro's
What does that
always
even
going to be a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like as an icon. Like even if
But
Batman takes
it's
takes
interesting
over,
in this movie too, because Zorro's like he's like a
I don't know.
a Robin Hood type
yeah.
character.
Yeah, I think what's strange is that when you put like Zorro on display, like it is strange because Batman has taken over that role
He has.
of that character.
It is. It is
Yeah.
it's just a thing where like Batman writers to sort of, it's sort of like a wink and a nod, like, hey, we know, we all know, we're all
Yeah.
in this. Fuck. Sorry, I skipped my point earlier. I don't think he killed her because once she had a fucking oxygen hook, pipe in her nose.
I think we have new listeners in the podcast though, so you should tell them. What
Yeah,
this is about
heads up.
again.
We're in full fucking spoiler territory talking about the Joker movie. So
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
should
we're
talk
going
about
in deep.
like we have at least 3 new people, so you should talk about why.
oh,
we're
who
doing
gives a
this
shit at
and
this
what we're
point?
doing.
It's done. I got my money.
No, you need to talk about what we're doing and
But-
why. That's how you
We're
do a
just not
podcast.
every time. It's fine. We're talking. I'm just telling them we're talking about Joker, so they don't
We got one new viewer. Let's start the podcast.
I just tell them we're talking about Joker, so if they haven't seen it, they don't accidentally get spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
sure.
yeah, there's this weird juxtaposition where you got these poor people out there, they're rioting because Joker has inspired this revolution. A revolution he, through most of the movie, does not give a fuck about. He's like, I don't care about politics. Whatever. He just wants people to see him for all this shit he's doing.
He just wants... he doesn't even want that. He doesn't even want to be seen. He just, like, draws from it. Because it shows him that he's not worthless.
Gives him power. Yeah. But it's weird.
He's like everyone else.
People are rioting, and all the fucking rich people are in this theater, laughing in unison like robots to Charlie Chaplin movies. It's very bizarre and weird. And Arthur sneaks in and meets Thomas Wayne in the bathroom, and he's like, "I'm your son. I'm what's her name?
Penny.
Pam, Penny. I'm Penny's son." And he's like, "Oh Jesus Christ, your mother's crazy." And Arthur gets mad about that. And he's like, "I'm not crazy. My mom's not crazy." He's like, he fucking Thomas Wayne hauls off on him, and he's like, "Don't fucking touch my kid again."
Yeah, like, so when we see Thomas, he just sort of is presented as, like, a real shithead. But in the context of, like, this man showed up at your house and shoved his fingers in your son's mouth, yeah, that would set you off on, like, an aggressive tone, for sure.
Should probably bring on Aquanas.
I'll bring on Aquanas I will bring on Aquanas when we're done. But I know he hasn't seen the movie.
No, he has that subtitle in his name. That's why I
Don't bring on. It's really good.
Just add that because of whatever.
That movie went by in like three
It's
minutes.
a very involving movie.
So I've been like holding off, but have you guys seen Taxi Driver?
No, not yet. I haven't.
No,
I will watch it. I swear to God.
Original Joker.
So you haven't seen it?
I haven't. I know a lot. Like, there's the stuff of like the.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything about it then, but you know, it's. I think it's a lot of themes taken.
Yes,
from it.
100%. I've seen it said very explicitly. This movie is Taxi Driver meets the King of Comedy.
Yeah, which is two movies by the same director.
Who, ironically, was out there talking shit about superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's very poetic.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Joker isn't a superhero
It
movie.
isn't.
It isn't, no. That's what I love about it. It's a comic book movie, but not really.
Yeah, you know, comic books can be...
When everybody tries to do the comic book movie, they always go all the way, but like this very...
Yeah, comic books don't have to be superheroes.
They don't, but they usually are. Like, we're never gonna get a movie based on like Why the Last Man.
I mean, we get fucking Hellboy.
That's basically a superhero thing.
Yeah,
it's
maybe,
come on,
but less of one. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway.
The only comic stuff we get, like, movies of is the Japanese stuff, I guess.
I guess all I really want to talk about is I want to talk about the ending. Because everything else we can talk about, and we can talk about how much we love it, because there's a lot to love. But there's...
Yeah, and I was going to say before you get into that, the ending is the King of Comedy bit. Yeah.
Arthur goes on to the Murray show intending to kill himself as, like, a joke. But he ends up in this like angry rant with Murray and his co-host.
Murray.
He ends up in this angry rant and ends up actually gunning down Murray live on TV, and that like
it blows his fucking head off. He shoots Robert De Niro in the head.
And then that like opens up this huge fucking riot that happens. The reason I want to talk about that is like the ambiguity of when exactly did he decide to kill Murray instead of himself? Because I think
it was sometime before he even went to the fucking studio.
See, I think the opposite.
Yeah, I think I think the point is the whole movie like you see him like ramping up and getting ideas in his head, and when you get to that point, like he's gotten enough of this shit. And
I
isn't
think it's the opposite. I think he was totally intent on killing himself because he really did legitimately think that was a funny thing to do. To be fair, it is. Like, hey, knock knock, who's there? And then blow your fucking head off. It's actually a funny joke. But I think he got caught up in the argument, and his emotions got the better of him. And he decided, I'm not the one who's going to pay for this. Fuck that. And then he decided to blow Murray the fuck away. Because I think that's how a lot of this type of violence works. It's not this like deep premeditated fucking thing. It's, I'm going to hurt myself, and then in the last moment you're going to decide like, no, I'm going to lash out. Fuck this.
Maybe that's not how the writers intended it, but that kind of makes more sense.
I also
Well, the fun with this movie is how ambiguous.
Dude, I
it
can't.
is.
The fucking cunt sitting next to him when he makes that first joke. Holy shit. So okay, when he goes out on stage, he makes a joke, and he goes like, "Do you want to hear a joke?" And Murray's like, "Yeah, whatever." Murray's actually
the bus full of
Murray's actually really funny. Robert De Niro's really funny. Like as a late night co-host, like talk show host, he's really good.
He's a funny guy.
He's the king of comedy.
He goes, "All right, knock knock, who's there?" The police, ma'am. Your son died in a drunk driving accident.
Yeah.
And then the woman next to him, who was like a sex therapist or something, goes, "That's not funny. You can't joke about that."
Yeah.
And the whole point of the movie is that everyone's endlessly cruel to one another.
Oh, really?
Hold on.
That's the point of